Hey there. I'm here to present my advanced SolidWorks final project. This is on my MacBook, so you'll have to excuse. I can't actually get into the part file and open it up like I want to. I saw this requirement a little bit after, but I still posted all the part files on the assembly and all that. I just won't be able to like get into it. Um, but this is a PDF of my final of the vinyl player that I designed. This was the whoa. This was my reference Sony Bluetooth vinyl player. So I referenced that picture. I set that as a reference onto my plane and drew that from there. Um, I feel designing most of it went pretty well as far as the individual parts went. Mating is always an issue for me. I spent a lot of time mating and lining stuff up. It does feel that's usually my hang up is the mating is that I have no issues designing an actual part. It's always the it's not manufacturing, it's the assembly of figuring out that, oh, this is the way it looks, but then when I actually design it in SolidWorks that way, uh, it doesn't want to mate, it doesn't want to line up correctly, and so I have to think, okay, I got to go back to square one. How am I going to get this to line up? How am I going to get this to mate correctly? Um, so just because it looks the same doesn't necessarily mean it's going to match the same, and I think that's my frustration with SolidWorks half the time is, well, I made it look the same, but it doesn't want to mate the same. You know, so uh, that's like right here on my pivot arm. Getting this sweep, this law was hard to match this mating, so I made a little pin in here that it could actually attach to, which I felt was kind of cheating, but I was trying to just get it on there. Same with these brackets on the end. They didn't want to attach correctly for whatever reason. That anytime I would, this extrusion on the back wasn't good enough. Yeah, I don't know. Um, so that's always a challenge for me is the mating. I struggle and struggle and struggle, and I feel like I go in circles over and over, just designing and getting parts to fit together. And it's tough too when you don't have the dimensions and seemingly like, oh, it's online and I have some dimensions, but I need every dimension, it seems like. And that's when it becomes really difficult is, yeah, I need every little dimension and I don't have it. Um, so that would be, I guess, better reflection for time spent would be the preparation is that making sure I had all my dimensions in place. I had all my measurements in place. I had all my exact files in place. Just relying on the internet for part components and this and that, not good enough. Just not good enough. Not for the kind of precision that SolidWorks is wanting, and for what I would want as well. That I want to make this kind of design, this kind of part. So that was a lot of my frustration was in and out of design. This works, this doesn't work. Got to go back to square one or back to square two, redesign. So even though I felt like I put in the hours, I didn't meet the time or I didn't get the quality that I wanted because I just kept fiddling around with mating and getting things to line up and just try to make it work. And that's again, it's not the parts that I struggle with that making it look all right. It's the making it assemble. So that's I think how I would better utilize my time as well in the future is not only the design part, but which would I think help the overall assembly, but then again, the assembly I think is getting that down together. Um, so it's just it's a learning curve as you go, right? That it's you find out this part's not quite big enough, this isn't mating right, so you have to think about it differently. You have to design it a little bit differently. Um, so I do feel like I learned from this project, and I wanted to. I'm frustrated with myself because I just wanted more time, and I wanted to do a better job with it. And I feel like I guess if I had like all term to work on it or something, I would have gotten a really killer project. Um, but yeah, I mean, I feel overall I felt pretty good about it. I had a lot of there was a few features that I was kind of proud of that looked pretty good. I can't really zoom into it, but there's these buttons, these knobs here, um, looked pretty spot on. The placement of everything I thought was really spot on with the reference picture. The actual turntable moved. This arm did pivot, and it would swing over. It has a little bracket right here to rest on. So there were some parts of it that I was actually really happy with. Um, so yeah, I guess just design and overall more time in assembly, um, that kind of stuff. So overall, was pretty happy with the overall outcome. Fun project, fun time. Learned some stuff. Thanks, Troy.